Hello, boys and girls. It's story time again. Our story book for this week is Tippy Tippy Splash by Candace Fleming. Let's see what in the world is Tippy Tippy Splash about. Mr. McGreely had bunny problems. Uh-oh. He had bunnies in his garden, bunnies in his shed, bunnies in his cupboard, and bunnies in his bed. Can you imagine that? A bunny in your bed? Oh boy, I can't take this anymore, bellowed Mr. McGreely. I need a break. I need to escape. I need a day at the beach. Mr. McGreely grinned as his idea grew. What fun, he exclaimed. I'm going to search for shells, fly a kite in the sky, surf on the waves, and build a big, tall sand castle. And best of all, there won't be any old pesky pufftails in sight. And when he says pufftails, he's talking about those bunnies. Okay? So bright and early the next morning, Mr. McGreely packed his surfboard and snorkel, his sand pail, and his shovel. Then he bustled off to put on his bathing suit and tippy, 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 pat, click, clack, snap. Minutes later, Mr. McGreely slid into his driver's seat. Goodbye, you old bunnies, he called out. Hello, fun. He hummed a little snappy, happy tune all the way to the beach. Oh, he's going to get a break, boys and girls. And once there, he spread out his blanket and flopped down onto his belly. Ah, he sighed. Let the fun begin. Well, hear these sounds. Tippy, 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 pat. Flip, plop, flop. When Mr. McGreely saw the three little bunnies sunbathing on his blanket, oh, he was so angry. Oh, no, he exclaimed. No bunny, no how, no way am I going to share my fun day. He stumped away in search of shells. He's sifting through to see if he can find seashells. How many of you have ever done that when you were at the beach? That's a lot of fun. He uncovered half a sand dollar and 2 cracked clam shells. By golly, that was fun, said Mr. McGreely. And look at what I found. And so he skipped all the way back to his blanket. In the meanwhile, Tippy, 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 grab. Plucked from the sand, Tippy, nab. 3 little bunnies, combing for shells, dragging a sack as big as themselves. And there they are. Look at that big sack with all those shells. Oop! Wow, that's hard. When Mr. McGreely saw the 3 little bunnies' big heap of sea treasures, he was really angry then. Trying to show me up, huh? He sputtered to himself. Well, let's just see you little wily twitch whiskers do this. He grabbed a kite. He ran up and down the beach. There he goes running, and he's so tired a little bit too. Oh, he's panting. You know how you do when you're running? The kite bounced along behind him. By golly, that was fun, Mr. McGreely said as he wheezed along happily, and my kite even lifted off the ground for a second. He headed back to his blanket. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Tippy, 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 dash! Down the shoreline, Tippy flash! 3 little bunnies flying a kite, clutching the string with all of their might. They are having fun. Whee! Those old pesky bunnies. What would you do to get rid of them? Mr. McGreely can't seem to find anything. Let's see what he does. When Mr. McGreely saw the three little bunnies' kite swooping and soaring above the clouds, oh, he was really angry. Your infuriating flop ears may have caught the breeze, he cried, but I bet you can't catch a wave. And tucking his surfboard under his arm, he sprinted across the sand, dove into the surf, and there he goes. Crash, smash, glub, glub, blub. He washed ashore, spitting and sputtering. Fun, Mr. McGreely coughed. He dripped all the way back to his blanket. Tippy, tippy, tippy dash. Riding the waves, tippy splash. The three little bunnies glide on shore, then giggle and wiggle and splash back for more. And look at the bunnies. Cowabunnies! They're having a ball. When Mr. McGreely saw those three little bunnies shooting the curls and riding the waves, he was absolutely furious. Blast you, wily twitch whiskers, he shouted. You want to see fun? Okay, I'm gonna show you fun. Snatching up a pail and a shovel, he stormed down the beach to the sand castle contest. First prize wins lunch at the veggie hut, said the judge. Mr. McGreely dropped to his knees in the sand. By golly, he fumed, let's see those old four-pawed show-offs do this. And he started building. Crumble, tumble, plop, plop, plop. Uh-oh, something's wrong, boys and girls. All he could make was a mound of wet sand. So much for my fun day, sniffled Mr. McGreely, and he wiped a tear away from his eyes. And all of a sudden, tippy, tippy, tippy. Ta-da! Mr. McGreely looked from the bunnies to the other castles, then back to those bunnies. Well, just maybe, he finally said. Maybe just this once. I think he's gonna let them help him. Let's see. So together, they shoveled and shaped and scooped and caked, molded and piled and patted and raked, and they built a big, tall sand castle. It was decorated with seashells, a bright kite fluttered from one of its towers, and a surfboard served as a drawbridge. There's that beautiful castle. The winner, declared the judge. He slapped a blue ribbon onto the castle and a gift certificate into Mr. McGreely's hands. Mr. McGreely grinned. Now that, he exclaimed, that was fun. Much, much, much. Look who's having fun at the veggie hut. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our story. I'm Carolyn Lloyd from Friendship Missionary Baptist Church.